Hello friends, I will present to you the new Ford 2023 new model Ranger Sport, and you can watch our driving test in the video. In the meantime, you can support us by subscribing to my channel. Regardless of whether you go for the bi-turbo or the V6, brake towing capacity is 3,500 kilograms. Payload in the Sport bi-turbo is 942 kilograms, with a gross vehicle mass of 3,230 kg and gross combination mass of 6,350 kg. Our tester came equipped with the aforementioned 2.0-liter bi-turbo four-cylinder diesel engine, which produces 154 kilowatts of power at 3,750 revolutions per minute and 500 nanometers of torque between 1,750 and 2,000 RPM. That's down 30 kW and 100 Nm on the optional V6, but up 29 kW and 95 Nm on the entry-level single-turbo 2.0-liter diesel. Indeed, its official ADR combined cycle claim is 8.4L/100 km in Sport guise compared to 7.6L/100 km for the four-cylinder. Regardless of whether you go for the bi-turbo or the V6, brake towing capacity is 3,500 kg. As we've mentioned before, the Ranger blows away its rivals in terms of in-car tech. Even its smaller 10.1-inch touchscreen, found on all variants bar the Wildtrak, Platinum, and Raptor, is larger than every rival's, and it boasts a mostly intuitive layout. There are rear air vents back here, plus a 12V outlet. The lack of USB outlets, however, is disappointing. If you're using the Ranger as a family vehicle, as so many people are these days, you'll find ISOFIX and top tether anchor points for the two outboard seats. Accessing the tub is easy thanks to a clever and sturdy-feeling rear box step on each side, allowing you to climb over the sides rather than clamber over the tailgate or stand on a slippery tire. Grayish gloss metal trim and unusual patterned hard plastic can be found on the front of the dashboard, helping to break up the black plastic. There's also some unusual patterned plastic trim on the doors, somewhat reminiscent of the Escape. Speaking of doors, the interior handles are hidden inside the armrests. They will confuse your passengers at first, but you get used to them, to the point where in my own car I would reach on the armrest to open the door. You can use the voice assistant with a press of a button on the steering wheel, while your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto Assistant can be activated with a long press of the same button if you don't do voice prompts. There's a wireless charging pad at the base of the center stack which is located in eyeshot, avoiding the issue with some pads where you can't see if your phone is actually charging. The only dubious aspect of the Ranger's dynamics are its brakes, which could have a bit more bite. The cabin is quite hushed at all speeds. There's a minimal amount of wind noise around the mirrors at highway speeds, but otherwise the cabin is thoroughly pleasant. The engine note is as uninspiring as any four-cylinder diesel ute, but at least it isn't too obtrusive. The outgoing Ford Ranger is one of the best cars to drive in this segment even in its twilight years. Especially the steering is top-notch. It has a nice beefy heft, but never feels too heavy at low speeds, making the Ranger quite easy to park for a ute. The flatbed car feels nice and fluid and makes the Ford feel confident in the Pilot. Ride quality is one of the best in the segment, with impacts nicely damped. Unloaded, you can still feel more movement in the structure than the related Everest, including some frame shake. But aside from the Raptor or Mazda BT50, the Ranger with the optional suspension upgrade is the best when it comes to ride comfort.